Hi, I'm Mega Vergan. Here is the Villains of James Bond Part 1. So basically what I am going to do in this video is talk about the James Bond villains in the first 5 movies. Now basically it is mainly the main villains. So let's get started. First was Dr. No. Dr. No was basically the mad scientist who wanted to, he was inspector, and what Dr. No, his goal was to sabotage American missile tests. It was said that he was sent by the evil number 1. Oh, and by the way, this is like a spoiler alert. Dr. No's plans have failed pretty much when James Bond melted down his laboratory and he died with it in the melting machine. Now, let's see who is next. Another picture of Dr. No. Dr. No had metal hands because, well, no one really knows for sure how he lost his hands, but we could tell it was something to do with radiation. And also, here's like his lab, or well, not his lab, but here's like them having dinner in the very first scene that he appeared in Dr. No. Next is Rosa Klebb. Rosa Klebb was the main villain in this movie from Russia with Love, but she was accompanied by this guy, number 1. Her and number 1 were the main villains, only number 1's face was not shown. Otherwise, if number 1's face was shown, Klebb would be considered a henchwoman. But since his face was not shown, Klebb was considered the main villain. So anyway, their plan is to acquire a Russian decoding device and kill James Bond. And the one they plan to kill James Bond with is hire this guy, Donald Red Grant. Now, Red Grant is a assassin who Rosa Klebb is hired to go and kill James Bond. He's actually like really strong, so one scene I remember, she used this brass knuckle to punch him in the stomach and he barely reacted. However, of course, if they succeeded in killing Bond, there wouldn't be another Bond movie. So basically, Bond killed Grant by like throwing him off a train, and Klebb was shot by Tatiana Romanova, but number 1 survived. Goldfinger, from the movie Goldfinger. Goldfinger was an interesting villain. This is the first movie not to feature the infamous Spectre, and so this one had some memorable characters. But first we'll start off with Goldfinger. Goldfinger is a guy who loves gold, like loves it. Like he wanted to, his evil plan was to rob Fort Knox and destroy all the gold there to make his own gold more valuable, basically to make a bank there. Of course, he has failed when Bond shot a window and Goldfinger went flying out of the plane. Yeah, it's pretty cool actually. Oddjob. Oddjob was a very, very, very memorable character. Mainly with his hat, because he would barely talk, but he did make a big impression. He'd kill people using his hat. He would take it off, throw it, sing, poof, and then they're dead. Pretty creative character. Oddjob died because he got electrocuted from his hat. Pussy Galore. Now, Pussy Galore was the Bond girl in this movie, the main Bond girl, but she started off as one of the bad guys. But she became good when she fell in love with James Bond. It's pretty common, but yeah. And helped James Bond stop Goldfinger. Largo. Largo is the main bad guy in the James Bond movie Thunderball. This movie was actually remade into an unofficial movie of James Bond called Never Say Never Again. But here I will talk about Emilio Largo and his companion, number 1, once again. And in this one, their plan is to hijack 2 nuclear warheads and hold them for ransom. I remember Largo hid at least one of them under the sea. And this movie had like a combination of Bond up in air and down in the sea. Blofeld's face once again wasn't shown, and Blofeld once again survived. Largo, however, died when he got shot with a spear in the back by his mistress, Domino, to save James Bond. And that's like one of the under the sea scenes, like when they were doing, I'm pretty sure it was either the fight or hiding the nuclear warhead, but I believe it's the fight. I only saw this movie twice, so I don't know exactly. Ah, yes. Number 1's identity is finally shown here, and his name is Ernst Stavro Blofeld. And Blofeld appears in many more, for he has survived in this one. James Bond actually dresses up as an astronaut when he meets Blofeld, but Blofeld knows something is suspicious, sorry. I don't know what's going on, but anyway. And still has the cat with him. Now, Blofeld, however, did not die in this one. In fact, this was the first out of 3 of the James Bond movies that the main villain does not die. This is Blofeld's volcano lair. I believe he wanted to, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that he wanted to start a war between Russia and America with using rockets. So anyway, I'm Megavergan, and thank you for watching.